Hi y'all, my name is Cindy, and today I want to share with y'all the process of me applying for my green card. What's the timeline look like, and how did the interview look like for us? So throughout the process, we didn't hire a lawyer. We prepare all the paperwork ourselves, and my husband and I were long distance because I'm in my PhD program and he is working back home in Oregon. I sent out my application on September 22nd, 2020 last year. I prepared for about a month because I was working till June 30th last year, and I gave myself like about a month to prepare for everything before I leave for my PhD program. Although we didn't hire a lawyer to help us prep for our paperwork, I have some friends who hire a lawyer. They say they still had to do their paperwork themselves. So that's why I choose to file the paperwork myself. I did get an app, it's called Green Card Hero, to help me throughout the whole process because I was trying to fill out everything myself and I got really frustrated. It's a really stressful and frustrating process. Although there's like how to fill guide, instruction to fill the application, but it still gets very complicated. And I was very impatient. I just want to get it done, and it gets really annoying. It was very stressful. So I decided to purchase this software to help me throughout the whole process. When my paperwork is done, including the evidence and also the health checkup, the total thing was more than 3 pounds. The first part, when I was sending out my application in September, I didn't, at the time because of COVID, I didn't need to send out I-944, but right as soon as I sent out my application, the website changed. They require I-944 again. So the first time when I sent out, it's about 1.5 pounds. During the time that I sent it out, the website still said you don't need I-944. And as soon as I got home, the software updated saying that they said they want I-944 again. So I was in the line calling USCIS to see if they need I-944 now. And when I called them, they said, USCIS said they still don't need I-944 for now, although their website already updated. So later I got a request of evidence to send in my I-944 again, which is another 1.5 pounds. After I sent out the first time, in September 22nd, 2020, they received it September 28th, 2020, but I didn't get an update at all. I didn't get an update until the end of October. I didn't receive anything, but my husband Simon, he received some text from USCIS. By the end of October, I received a receipt saying that they already received my applications. And then it's just a long waiting time. Nothing happened in between till January 23rd. We received a notice that they request for evidence for my I-944 and also my fingerprint appointment. At the time I was in Texas, so I booked a ticket right away, and I flew back to Oregon, hit the snowstorm this February, and couldn't get a Lyft or Uber. My husband can pick me up, and we got stuck in snow for twice, but it's all worth it to let this application go smoothly. So my fingerprint appointment is February 18, 2021. I went to my appointment. Because of COVID, they won't let you in. They will only let you in 15 minutes prior to your appointment. There was a sign at the entrance saying that do not use your phone and all that. It's like a lot of words, and I wasn't paying attention. So I went through the security. I was waiting in the room to get my fingerprint, and I took out my phone. The staff talked to the whole room very loudly, saying that there was a sign at the entrance saying that you cannot use your phone here. It's illegal for you to use your phone here. We can kick you out. It was very embarrassing, and I put my phone away. So please don't use your phone at USCIS office at all, because I was so addicted to phone and I was checking my email because I was working that day. Just don't use it for that hour, because For some people, it's even less. For me, it was like 30 minutes because we have 6 people there, and it went through really fast because of COVID. There were less people. So just don't use your phone for that 30 minutes, just in case. I left Oregon the weekend after I finished my fingerprint, and I received update through my account a week later, or maybe just like a couple of weeks later. I received the account updated on March 8th, 2021, saying that my case is ready to be scheduled. And just did an update for another really long time till June 7th. We received the interview notice on June 7th, saying that our interview is scheduled and it will be on June 14th. There's another mistake here, was that the second interview, I was like, I'm already so prepared for so many stuff, so I don't think I need to prepare more. I just brought the new 2020 W-2 of my husband and I, and also I brought a letter from my program director saying that I am mandatory to stay in person for my program. That's why we have to do long distance. So I brought that, and right before the interview, like 30 minutes or an hour before the interview, I went to Office Depot to print out one paper of pictures. There were like 6 pictures in there. I put them all together, and that's it. 4 pieces of paper. I think I was really lucky in the interview because I heard a lot of people will request even more evidence. I only prepare those 3 things. For other people, I recommend you all to prepare more things that happen when you send out the application when you send out the application till you got your interview, because they will ask for it, and I just didn't have it. So I was very panicking throughout the process, but fortunately we passed. But definitely I would recommend you all to prepare a little bit more. So speaking to the interview, I was extremely nervous. Applying for green card is such a stressful process, and I had to, like, right before going to the building, I have to take 10 minutes walk outside to just move my body, help myself calm down, and using some mindfulness skill that I also talk about in another video if you want to check it out, to calm myself down right before my interview. And then after like 15 minutes, I feel a lot better. So I went back to the line to get into our interview. So we went into the building, make sure I put my phone away and put it in airplane mode. Just don't use it at all. And there were a lot of people sitting in the room waiting. A lot of people were using their phone, but I didn't. I just didn't want to experience the same thing that I experienced during my fingerprint appointment. And then I finished. So the interviewer came out. They will call your name. She called my name, and I was extremely nervous again because she was kind of like straight face and kind of it just like I just got really nervous. I don't even know why. And we went into the room. I don't know if this is a good thing for you to do or not, but Simon, my husband, he started to joke. He started joking because he wanted to ease my nerve and all that. And then he started to joke with the interviewer. He said, I heard that if you don't answer the question correctly, then you're going to go to jail. And I was like, what the heck? So I looked at him and I said, babe, I was very serious. I said, babe, this is not a time that you should joke. I guess we got lucky. The interviewer thought it was really funny. So she started to joke with Simon, talking about like, who said that in a movie or something. So the whole vibe was just less tense after that. I don't know if this is for everyone. I feel like we just got lucky with that interviewer. Was not that strict. She was pretty easygoing. But I don't know. I was like really panicking when Simon started to joke. I think the only thing that you can do is just to be honest and be authentic about yourself, because Simon loves to joke. I think he was just being authentic. And then after that, she asked me some questions that you already fill out for I-485. So some questions like, have you ever committed crime, all those kind of stuff, then you will answer like yes, no questions. And I just said no the whole time. No, never, no, never, because I responded no, never on that sheet. So she was saying that, the interviewer was saying that they just want to make sure after you send out the application till now, there's nothing new that happened. And then she was just checking in some information and also asking me my parents' name and all that. I heard some interviewer will quiz you about that. Some people got even more intense situation, like there's a divider in the middle and they were like quizzing each other questions. So I think each interviewer just have different style. You're just gonna be prepared. Ask other people's experience. Ask what kind of questions they got. And right before going to the interview, I forced Simon, like we were practicing, what's my parents' name, what's my phone number, what's my major, what's the name of my high school, all that. And because there's language barriers, so we were like thinking of some funny way to memorize those things. He did memorize and we make it very natural, but when we go in, the interviewer didn't ask us those questions. So I think we were just lucky. And after those yes and no, and after all those I-485 questions, she turned towards Simon to ask him some basic information of him and those responses that he filled out for his I-130. And he responded to those, also those yes and no questions. He responded no to all of them. And then she started asking us when and how did we met. So we talked to her about when and how do we met and how do we maintain the relationship. I even told her one very funny story that Simon, the first time when I visited Simon, he fell asleep. So I was like picking up tiny rocks to threw at his window to try to wake him up like high school girls. And she was laughing about that. After that, the second question she asked was, how did Simon propose and when did he propose? The third question was that how do our parents think about our relationship? Simon was just being completely honest and transparent because there's like some complicated situation between my parents' view toward him and all that. And he did met my family. My brother was completely fine with him, but my parents were having a really hard time with him. So he was just being completely transparent and honest throughout the whole process. I was like kind of nervous and panicking about his answer because it's not typical like positive things that's happening. So I was like very nervous and anxious about the answer, but he was just being completely honest and transparent. So I think that's the most important thing. Just like my friend, when she had her interview, she couldn't remember her partner's phone number. So she was like, I don't memorize it because it's in my phone. Then, and the interviewer let her to take out her phone to check what's her husband's phone number. The other thing she did ask me was if I had any proof that I finished my master program in Oregon. She was asking if I brought my diploma with me. I didn't. So I was just being honest that I didn't bring it. It's at home. We can send in it that if she wants, we can send in the letter. We can send in a copy of our diploma later if she wants. Also, we didn't bring our tax return for 2020. We did already finish our tax return, but we didn't bring it. If you did it already and your interview is this year, just bring it. I didn't bring it, and we were just being very transparent and honest, saying that we can send it in later. And she was just like, that's fine, I can just use your W-2. So she took a copy of our W-2. So I gave her our title again. There's our name on it, and also she was asking if we have like new insurance or car insurance, health insurance that with both our name on it. I brought none of those things. I just had the house title with both of our name and also a marriage certificate, and she took a copy of that. She gave it back to us afterward. I also have all of those copies for my I-485. But I think different people would check through the whole process. The interviewer was just looking through your paperwork on the spot. toward the end of the interview, she started asking like if we have any questions for her, and I just asked when would we know the result, how would the result, what are something I need to be mindful for after we get the result, if we didn't pass, what are something that I have to do. She didn't say right away like you're passed or you're gonna get your green card. She just said you will get an update by the end of today or maybe tomorrow, and then you will receive the result next week, and then you will receive not next week, and then you'll receive your result in 2 weeks. So yeah, within a week I received my green card. I had my interview July 14th 2021, and I received it last Thursday. Can't remember which date now, but I'll put it in, I will edit it and put it on the video. So that's the whole process. I think I was extremely lucky. I had a really good interviewer and she was really nice throughout the whole process. I didn't bring a lot of evidence. I would definitely recommend you all, if you are going through the process, bring something with you. Just bring some new stuff after you send out your application. And also just be very authentic and honest about the situation. It's an extremely stressful and frustrating process. It takes very long. So I just wish you all the best, sending all the positive thoughts to you all and hoping you all can get your green card soon as well. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you find this video helpful.